I'm a businessman, Patricia. I'm not into games playing. I had 20 years of that during our marriage, and that was enough.
So in typical Gordon fashion, you're taking the cards way out.
Oh, I don't need Ramberg. They need me. I won't have any trouble getting another job. How does it feel, Patricia? You spend a fortune trying to get at me, and there's no way you can. I've got my talent, I've got my self-esteem, and I've got Barbara. Now, I think that beats control of an engineering firm any day. I hope you enjoy it. Now get out.
G'day.
Hi. Davey been behaving himself?
Yeah, no worries.
It's been hot, hasn't it?
Yeah, I went to the beach. I got my exam marks.
Oh, great. How'd you go? Ah, that's fantastic. I bet you're pleased.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Of course you are. I'm really proud of you.
Thanks. I love you.
I love you too.
Without you, there's only me to stand up to her, and I wouldn't have a hope. There is no way she wouldn't win support from the rest of the board. Oh, they know what side their bread's buttered on.
There's no way I'll work under her. It's as simple as that.
The company needs you. Even Patricia and Wayne must see that.
I rather pulled the rug out from underneath them when I said I'd resign.
Not only them.
I'm sorry. I hate to see Ramberg flounder, but I'm not going to stay there and be Patricia's flunky.
It's all Paul's fault. You warned him what had happened if he sold his share.
Rosie?
Always making excuses for him. Doesn't care about anyone but himself.
That's his trouble. He cares too much, but he sees things in broader moral terms.
Ah, that's just a fancy way of saying he's being stubborn. What do you think, Fiona?
Oh, well, I tend to agree with you, but we could go round and round in circles, couldn't we? At least if you stay, Patricia and Wayne won't get everything their own way.
I'm sorry. I'm due at the hospital to see Barbara.
You haven't had your sweets yet?
Oh, I'm sure they'll keep. Stay and finish your meal, please.
Oh, thank you. I've never said no to one of Rosie's sweets.
Oh, tell Mrs. Armstrong we'll have everything ready for her when she comes home tomorrow.
Right. I'm sorry if I'm leaving you in the lurch at Ramberg.
Oh, I understand.
But I've got Barbara to think of now. And I don't want to be distracted by constant infighting with Patricia. See you later.
Give her my love.
Well, why don't you come back with me after the meeting tomorrow, eh? See ya.
I'd like that.
Do you think he's doing the right thing?
For himself. Yes.
I'm glad Rob and Angela found a place they really like.
Yeah, it sounds good. Lucky the block of land in Jewel was worth so much.
Oh, couldn't believe what they got for it. Gives them a real head start owning their own house straight off.
Yeah, it's taken Mum and Dad all their married life. They only finished paying off the mortgage last year.
That's how it'll be for us, won't it? It doesn't have to be.
Let's not go into it again tonight, eh? At least we haven't been arguing since you got back.
Well, we have to talk about it, Kevin. I've got to give Mrs. Collins my answer.
As far as I'm concerned, the answer's no. I'm not going to change my mind.
It'll only be for 3 months, and I could earn more money than you would in a year.
Thank you.
Well, all I mean is we get straight into our own home.
Well, 3 months apart won't do our marriage much good.
We don't have to be apart, you know that. It'd just be like a holiday for you.
Oh, some holiday. Sitting in a strange hotel room, looking after Davey while you work.
Well, I won't be working all the time.
Yeah, and when you're not, you'll be out being all social. We'd end up having worse rows than we are now.
I want to do it, Kevin. I love you, but you can't expect me to throw a chance like this away. And not just a chance for me, but for both of us.
I can't see it like that. That's how I feel.
Then what are we going to do?
So you finally decided to come back, have you?
I spent the last couple of nights on the yacht.
Slept in your clothes by the look of them?
Yeah. Is Gordon home?
No. He and Wendy have gone to pick up Mrs. Armstrong. They're bringing her back here. And you'll have me to deal with if you say anything to upset her.
I wouldn't do that.
Done a good job with other people, especially Gordon. Treated you like a son, and you go and do that to him.
All I've done is try and get rid of what I got from my grandfather.
You can do what you like, but you shouldn't have sold those shares.
Well, it's too late to worry about that now. Besides, it won't necessarily cause Gordon any trouble.
Won't it? Do you know who bought them? Patricia. That's right, her and Wayne. She must have put him up to it. It means she's in charge. Gordon's resigned. Sure to worry Mrs. Armstrong when she finds out about it.
I never meant anything like that to happen.
Well, you should have given it a bit more thought before you got so high and mighty. I can't say I care for the way your granddad made his money, but you won't change what happened then by hurting people now.
Well, what can I do?
You've caused a lot of trouble ever since you came here. To Gail, Wayne, and now Gordon. If you ask me, the best thing you can do is pack your bags and go before you do any more harm.
When are they going to start?
I thought you'd be laughing it up.
Maybe I would have. I thought the company was going to be around long enough to make the shares worthwhile.
Oh, Wayne, don't be stupid. Ramberg isn't going to fold.
I wasn't doing too well till Gordy took over.
Good. I know Gordon has done a good job. I didn't intend him to resign.
Got more guts than you thought, eh?
However, there is no way I'm going to let this company go under. I've got too much tied up in it.
Better think of a good replacement.
Oh, for God's sake. Hello, Ted. How are you?
Fine. Sorry you weren't able to make the last few meetings. Heard you weren't well.
No, I wasn't for a while, but I'm back in form now.
Good. Wayne?
I gather you know that Wayne and I picked up Paul's shares.
Yes, I'm glad they're in the hands of Ramberg people rather than outsiders. I imagine we'll be asking you to join the board, eh, Wayne?
Guess so.
I'd like him to sit in on today's meeting if that's all right with everybody.
Of course, of course. Gordon rang to say he's been detained. He'll be here as soon as he can.
How long will that be?
I'm not sure exactly, but I suggest we get some of the general business out of the way before he gets here.
He's probably doing it on purpose. Thinks he's making me sweat on whether he's actually resigned or not.
If you must know, he's at the hospital picking up Barbara.
How is she?
A long way to recover.
If you let Gordon resign, you're a fool. Oh, really?
If he goes, it won't be long before your shares won't be worth the paper they're written on.
Been reading the tea leaves again, have we? I mean, we all know about your business brain.
I've learned enough to know that Ramberg needs Gordon.
Nobody's indispensable.
If he goes, who'll replace him?
Richard Coleman, the Melbourne manager. I've always had a lot of faith in him.
You're a bigger fool than I thought.
Coleman's not up to taking over.
Oh, well, then we'll find somebody who is, won't we?
Thank you.
Rosie, we're here.
It would have been easier to put me on a pair of roller skates and wheel me in. Oh, it's so good to see you. Out of the phony hair. Do you think they could have found me something that looked less like straw?
I keep telling her it looks fine. It does too. I've got morning tea ready for you.
Oh, real food at last.
Made a nice chocolate cake. Won't be a minute.
Sounds wonderful.
Excuse me, darling. Rosie? I can't stay. I'm very late for a meeting. Any sign of Paul?
Oh, he's been and gone.
No, darling, I'm
Packed his things and left.
just sitting.
Par for the course, I suppose. Well, I haven't got time to worry about it now. Thanks.
I'll get you a rug.
What on earth for? Don't you start turning into a nurse. I couldn't bear it.
I bet the hospital staff were glad to see the end of you.
Well, they're probably holding a party right now.
I'll take your case out to the flat.
Okay.
I'm sorry I have to rush off.
Oh, I don't expect you to sit and hold my hand. The sooner things get round to normal here, the better. Well, as normal as this stupid thing will let me be anyway.
It'll keep getting stronger.
What's the meeting about?
Oh, you know, one of those endless business details that have to be discussed from time to time.
Sounds very boring.
It probably will be. I'm glad we're here together at last.
So am I. Didn't expect it to be quite like this, though.
Main thing is we are together.
She'll call if she needs us.
I know. I'd just like to be able to keep an eye on her all the time till she starts getting stronger.
She wouldn't like that.
No, she wouldn't. Whatever we do, the last thing she needs to feel is dependent. She likes the flat.
Well, not quite what she's used to, but it's comfortable enough.
Paul had it at one stage, didn't he?
When he first came here. Then Gail and I took it and he came into the house. Had the run of the place like one of the family. Reminds me of that old saying of the viper in the nest.
Well, I know he's done some silly things, Rosie, but basically he's a good person. He just tends to expect too much from himself and everyone else.
Well, at least he won't be making any more trouble here.
Didn't even get a chance to say goodbye. Do you think he'll be back? He said he left some clothes.
Only his business suits and shirts. Don't think he wants them.
Wonder what he'll do. Probably go back to bumming around like he did in the States, I suppose.
Be a bit different now. If he'd gotten to strive then, he only had to call his granddaddies on his own now.
I'll miss him.
Well, he made his own bed. Now he have to lie in it. I just feel sorry for whoever he gets mixed up with next.
Under the sink. I wonder what they used it for. They must have had a lot of parties or something.
Kids, I reckon. There's a whole pile of comics and stuff upstairs. At least they cleaned them up down here.
Wonder if it'll still work.
Really? Reckon so. What would we want it for?
Well, it might come in handy if we have a housewarming party. Oh, I'm so glad we finally got a place of our own.
Me three. Anyone home? No.
Hello. When did you get back?
We're on our way home and dropped in to see Susie. She told us about this place, so I had to come and have a gander.
Well, what do you think?
Oh, it's better from the outside than in here.
Well, keep us busy for a while. How was Mum and Dad?
Great. They send their love.
You know your dad's gone back to Brisbane to get things sorted out.
Yeah, Susie told us. Told us about Bill, too. Transfer.
Yeah, good, eh?
Well, she deserves it. To tell you the truth, I never thought she'd stay the distance. Gonna stand by him. I'm real proud of her. Beryl's out in the front having a chinwag with a neighbour. She'll tell you about the gossip when she comes in. This will be the lounge, will it?
Yeah, and this is the dining room combined.
Yeah. Oh, it's big enough to be able to have a decent party in here.
See, we'll have to have a party.
Hey, it fits quite a crowd in here, too.
There's probably been quite a crowd here from time to time. How are you both?
Good.
Fine. What do you mean?
Ah, the next door neighbour was telling me. Yeah, she's a bit of an old tartar. Wouldn't want to step on her toes.
Oh, well, we'll be careful.
When she saw you coming and going, she thought the place was back in business.
Oh, what sort of place was it?
Nothing like that. Coffee shop, a drop-in place for teenagers at a loose end. Keeping off the streets, I suppose. It was run by some young social worker. Neighbours didn't like it, so they got up a petition.
Rotten so-and-sos.
Could have been a bit noisy.
Well, if they hadn't have got out, you two wouldn't have got in.
Now, that's the point.